trip to Japan is not complete without a stay at a Ryokan. So today we're staying at this beautiful Ryokan with private onsen in Kawaguchiko. Hello, this is me and this is my wife 𝐿𝐻𝐿. Welcome back to the second part of my documented trip to Japan. In this video, we travel to Kawaguchiko, where you will get a detailed tour through a Ryokan with private onsen and visit Japan's most iconic photo location. My wife and I come to the conclusion that our physical condition is not that great.
That is true.
Because I can see it.
And we end our trip with an amazing and soothing dip in our own private onsen. Getting to Kawaguchiko by train can be quite a challenge, as the Japan Rail Pass is not eligible on the entire trip. That is why we chose to travel by bus. The Ryokan arranged a private pickup at Kawaguchiko train station, after which we ended up in our beautiful room. So the first thing you notice is that you have your own private entrance over here. The second thing you notice is that the heights are not really adjusted to Western people, because as you can see, and the first thing that you will then see is this beautiful garden, your own private garden that you have. Of course, with your own personal slippers. Definitely not made for Western heights. So across from the garden you have a sitting room, so basically the living room. We have a television, of course, a seating area, and then of course another seating area. And when we entered the room we were also sat down in the traditional way. They sat me down in the kamisa, which is this chair for the honored guest. Apparently that is only me and not my wife. And because this room also has a tokonoma, the most important seat is in front of that. So yeah, we sat down over here, we signed the papers, and then the guy left us. And then we're entering the bedroom. These are traditional Japanese futons, so this is a kind of a mattress where you lay on. And then if we head this way from the bedroom, you can see our private onsen, which is out here. Come on, are you excited to head into the onsen?
Yes.
Yes. So am I. But before we do that, we first have to freshen up. We have here we have a small-ish, well, it's not really a bathroom, but how would you call this? Is it a bathroom?
Yeah, I think it's a bathroom.
There is no bath here, but there is in here. Here we have a traditional, no, well, not traditional because it seems like this was built after the fact, but anyway, a traditional Japanese bathroom in the sense that you have this, which you fill up with water and you pour over your head. You wash yourself up, you can soak here in the bath, and you're supposed to wash up first and then head into the onsen, which you will do in just a second. And then through the bathroom you can head back out into your own hallway. So this is where we were before. Here we have the garden, and here of course we have, also very important, the toilet with your own toilet slippers, because it is customary to change your slippers that you have for your room for special toilet slippers. And then after the toilet we can head back to the start of the room, where here we have again the door to the outside. Okay, let's head outside and see what it's like. Oh. We enjoyed the beautiful garden, had a lovely kaiseki dinner, and for the next day I had planned to visit some beautiful places around Kawaguchiko. But first, we had a real Japanese breakfast, which, as a Dutchman, I can't really recommend because it was way too much and we felt really bad that we couldn't finish it all. Anyway, we rented a bike at the nearest bike rental and headed over to the first spot I prepared to visit. We zijn dus nu een ding op aan het wandelen. En ik dacht van nou, dat is niet zo heel, zijn niet zo heel veel tredes. Maar we gaan een flink stuk aan het lopen nu.
Oh, ik heb een natte rug.
Gemma just said she has a wet back. Well, so do I. And I just realized I didn't do the last part in English, so that's fucked up. But anyway, we decided to stop here. Because apparently there are no more stairs, even though there clearly are, but we just choose to not see this.
But I do think that if we go up higher, we can see Mount Fuji.
That is true.
Because I can see it.
Just walked a bit upwards. We have a beautiful shot of Fuji, and now walking back down and going to another spot that 𝐿𝐻𝐿 does not know of yet.
But we need some food.
Need
We need food.
We need food. Yes, we need. I need food. I thought with the huge Japanese breakfast that we had, that it would be full for the rest of the day, but no, apparently that is not the case. Anyway, see you back at the, I don't know.
Next place.
Bye. What do we have for lunch?
Sandwich, teriyaki chicken and egg. And then, for you, nigiri, tuna mayonnaise.
Onigiri. So this onigiri, which is basically rice filled with then the tuna and mayonnaise, wrapped in seaweed. This is really good. I also had this on the first day, but I had such an enormous jet lag. Couldn't get anything in my stomach, and I started to doubt myself whether I maybe did not enjoy Japanese food, but I know that I do. Now that I'm eating this on the day that I think jet lag has finally left me, I can safely say, yes, I like it. How about you, 𝐿𝐻𝐻?
I liked it the first day, but I think I didn't have a jet lag as bad as you.
What's also really funny about Japanese packages is the fact that, well, they're very specific in how you're supposed to open it. It says 1, 2, and 3. Well, not on this specific package, but anyway. Opening a package goes really easily. That was chicken teriyaki, right?
Yeah.
My grandmother would get mad at me for eating white bread. She always used to say, you can only eat white bread after you've eaten brown or black bread. I mean, this is lunch with the view. I don't know if we can see 𝐿𝐻𝐻. Oh, there she is. Hello. I mean, wow. This is Lake Kawaguchiko. We cannot see Mount Fuji at the moment, unfortunately. No. Behind the mountain, but we'll see it again. Het is een struggle naar boven dit. Tering. Je moet echt wat doen om bij het mooiste uitkijkpuntjes een beetje van dit dorp te komen. Zeg eens hoe jij je voelt.
Ik ben kapot.
Want share how tired you are.
Give me a minute. I mean, I never work out and this is just
a bit too much.
We enjoyed the views at the pagoda of Arakurayama Sengen Park with the 7 million other tourists that were there. I made the iconic travel brochure photo and we headed back to the Ryokan to end the day in our lovely private onsen.
So this is a yukata, which is a traditional Japanese wear, usually used in more casual situations. So for example, you can wear this to dinner, breakfast, or you usually wear this in a ryokan where we are right now. But this is not a kimono. Kimono is a more traditional outfit, which is most often worn at weddings, similar formal occasions. But yeah, going to ryokan gives you a nice opportunity to dress up in a yukata. 𝐿𝐻𝐻, kom, laat jouw yukata eens zien. Beautiful, wow. Spin around. Oh, maybe we also have to tell about the fun anecdote after dinner. This is what happened. 𝐿𝐻𝐻 walked in front, I came behind her. She ducked below the woodwork. There were these linens hanging around, you know, these traditional pieces of Japanese curtains. You went through and the guy said something to you and I was distracted.
So he hit his head.
Extremely hard. It was like bang! I was like, oh, it hurt so much. And the guard said, oh, sorry, Japanese sizes. We all just had to laugh. And the guy was like, oh well. So here we are in the onsen finally. It's about 40 degrees. There's really sulfuric smell. And the interesting thing is that it can only be called an onsen if the water in this bath is actually from a hot water spring. And yeah, it's really relaxing, especially after such a nice meal. And I'd have to say, it's a wonderful way to end a beautiful day. And with that, I want to say thank you very much for watching. I will be sitting here for the next couple of hours, and I hope to see you again soon.